to the PM, PM to the AM. Eat up your per diem, you just gotta hate them, boom. If I quit your PM, I still rock Mercedes, boom. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Hi, my name is what? My name is my name is it's named Sadie. Hi, my name is what?
How was this movie good? I seriously thought that this movie was going to flop horribly in theaters. The trailers didn't catch my attention at all, to the point where I was so sure it was going to be bad. And then, a week before its release, I started seeing praise for this movie all over the place. I seriously didn't know what to think. I thought to myself, okay, maybe this movie might be worth a watch. So, 2 weeks later, I decided to go watch it, and needless to say, it surprised me, especially considering the fact that Endgame was just around the corner. I thought that this movie wouldn't stand a chance, but it did. I don't know what DC is doing as of late with their movies, but they're starting to be good. Now, they aren't masterpieces by any means, but they're still holding up pretty good in a world where the MCU dominates the industry. Upon a normal look, you'd say that Shazam is as generic as a superhero movie can be. But that's what makes the movie so cool. The movie's really meta, to the point where at first I was thinking to myself how corny and generic everything in this movie was, until I realized that they were doing it on purpose. And then something inside of me snapped, like how cool and inventive this movie is. People out there are claiming that this movie is the perfect DC movie. I seriously think that it's far from it, and I think that we're still a couple of years away from that. I do however think that this movie is the best DC EU movie to date. I thought that this movie was so cool and clever in the way it did things, and I think it does a good example showing how wacky the DCU can be too. I'm just afraid that this whole universe will grow stale in a couple years, like some of the MCU has. We'll just have to see how this universe holds up with time. Especially now, after watching this movie, I'm not really sure what they are trying to do with the whole universe, but I think that that's a theme for a different video. Something I am starting to realize is how similar all the DC heroes are. We got Superman, Wonder Woman, and Shazam. The three of them can fly, the three of them have super strength, the three of them are super fast, and the three of them can resist bolts. Now, I know that besides that, they do have some different variations with their powers here and there, but I feel like the heroes are way too similar to work together in a single film, in opposed to the MCU, where all the heroes have their own very unique powers. Like, Flash was one of my favorite characters, but while watching this movie, I couldn't stop thinking how useless he feels. Pretty much everyone in this universe has his superpower, plus a whole lot of others. I feel like we need to talk about some of the more technical things about this movie. As I said, the movie is really meta with some things, and I am not going to say what they were just in case you haven't watched the movie. But let's just say, it deals with superhero movie tropes in some interesting ways. The humor was surprisingly good, and had me and the whole theater laughing constantly. The acting was good, but that never seems to be an issue with any of these movies. The way the movie was shot, I think was okay, although I did think that there were a couple of shots that I disliked because they felt very cheesy. But that's the issue with this film. It's hard to criticize it, because I do not know if they made those shots purposefully bad or cheesy. Regardless of that, the movie was fun and interesting to watch. The dynamic between the characters was fun. As I stated in other reviews, I claimed that family was a great motivation for a superhero to have, and that I was surprised that none other superheroes seemed to have a family besides Ant-Man. Well, I think that this movie tackles the whole family thing in a great way, and it shows how great a tale of superheroes works when it implements things like family. The movie too is super family friendly, which I thought was a nice touch, which is weird coming from me, because I'm usually against the whole family friendly things in movies, because I do feel like it hinders the things that they can do with the script and some of the jokes. But on this movie I think it works great since it's a story about family, and it works great especially when you consider the fact that Shazam is a 14-year-old boy. With that being said, the movie still has some jokes here and there that will make the more grown-up people laugh, while still keeping it safe for the rest. And I don't know, it's this type of stuff that makes the movie feel good and wholesome, while at the same time not feeling limited at all. As I said before, it's kind of hard to criticize this movie because I am not sure what was made on purpose and intentional or not, but I think that that is such a good thing, because it makes the movie's flaws look even better. I am not too familiar with Shazam in the comics. I haven't really read any Shazam comics so far, so I'm not sure how accurate this character is in this movie in comparison to the comics. So I'm gonna have to rely on you guys for that. Upon watching the trailers, I thought it was going to be a complete cancer as soon as I saw him doing the floss dance, and I thought that the jokes were super dumb. I also thought that the actor they chose to play the adult Shazam looked weird, and I disliked the costume. But upon watching the movie, I am glad to say that it changed my mind about all of that, except the floss dance. But overall, it's a pretty solid movie. I think it's the best DCEU movie I've seen so far, and although it might not be as visually pleasing as movies like Aquaman, it still has a really great plot and a likable cast. If you're into superhero movies, this is definitely a worth watch. 8.5 out of 10. It's a good movie that surprisingly manages to be a good superhero movie too. It feels original and not generic. 8.5 out of 10. For more comic book movie reviews and content, subscribe to this channel. I will definitely have more. And don't forget to leave a like and comment if you enjoyed. Other than that, this is Home Point to Toe signing out. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And yeah, peace.
My English teacher wanted to flunk me in junior high. Damn. Thanks a lot. Next semester I'll be 35. I smacked him in his face with an eraser, chased him with a stapler, and told him to change the grade on the paper. Now, walked in a strip club, had my jacket zipped up, served the bartender, and walked out with a tip cup. Extraterrestrial, running